Welcome to today's tutorial for ITF Taekwondo. I'm Christine Young, 7th Dan International Instructor. Let's get going. We're going to bow in first. Chariya, Kuni. Alright, let's start with our warm-up. Our feet are parallel and we're just going to roll our shoulders forward. Now you'll hear me count in Korean, so count along if you want. Backwards. Hana, do, set, net, tasit, yasit, ilga, yado, aho, yo. This time both hands are out. We're going to have one arm going forward, one arm back. Hana, do, set, net, tasit, yasit. We change. Hana, do, set, net, tasit. Yasit. Okay, hands on our hips, circling those hips. Hana, do, sit, net, tasit. Other way. Hana, do, sit, net, and tasit. All right, arm is up. We're going to reach to one side. We're going to do kind of like a hana, do, sit, net, 4 count and change. Hana, do, sit, and net, and change. Hana, do, sit, net, and hana, do, sit, net. Alright, this time we're going to rotate our wrists and our elbows at the same time. So lots of circles going inwards to start with and outwards. Hana, do, sit, net, and that's it. Alright, we're going to just shake out the legs a little bit and I'm just going to go for our leg raises. We've done those in earlier tutorials. This is a great way to just warm up the whole bottom half and to get that hamstring stretching and longer. If you'd like, have a target. We want the ball of the foot to go up and meet your palm. Other leg. Hana, do, sit, nip, that's it, yes it. Right, we're going to go up with our knees and rotate outwards. We're going to alternate legs. Hana, do, sit, net, that's it, yes it, ilga, yado, aho, and yo. Right, we're going inwards. So we're going to start with our knee on the outside and bring it in across your body. Set, net, that's it, yasit, ilga, yado, aho, and no. Right, let's have a quick stretch of our quads. Take one leg back, take the other arm if you can reach, and open up through that chest, so stretching across your shoulders as well as pulling the heel up towards your buttocks. And we're going to hold there, practice our balance as well, and change. Holding up, take your balance, both arms, and open up through your chest. Okay, let's take this leg up to the side. We're just going to come out into a nice long lunge. This leg's just in a natural position. We're just going to have our shoulder, our forearm here on our knee. Just going to stretch and reach over. And change. Breathing in as we change, and breathe out as we lunge into our stretch. Come into the center and change. Alright, this time come in, cross one leg over the other, reaching up. We're just trying to reach down, get our fingers to the floor or our palms to the floor. Reaching up, big breath in, and on the out breath. If this is easy, try and go behind. And change legs. Big breath in. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, you can do so. If you have the flexibility in your legs, keep them straight. Alright, okay, coming out into the sitting stance. Forearms on the inside to get some mobility in our hips. Okay, this time, one leg up, toes pointing up. Okay, if you can, keep this other heel on the ground. If it tends to pop up, then just try and slowly get that length in your Achilles by just having that, allow it to relax and getting that heel on the floor. This leg is up. Once again, breathing in and change to the other side. Okay, that's fine to lean forward a little bit, or if you've got that nice balance to try and keep your chest upright, then do so. Big breath in, rotate to the other side. Breathing, toes up, heels down, and up, and rotate. Alright, coming up. Okay, our parallel starts punching. So, we're just going to cover off some of our basics that a white belt student would be mastering as we go through our grades. Feet are parallel, making that fist, punching to the middle, parallel stance, punching. So just follow along with me. Don't forget to twist right at the end. Other hand goes back to your hip. Hana, do, set, ne, dasu, yasu, yoga, yadu, aho, yo. This time we're going to breathe out and shorten our out breath when we finish the punch. Let's try that in a sitting stance. With the sitting stance, we're going to keep our heels on the floor. We're going to use our knees to generate that sine wave action we spoke about in our first two lessons. Right, here we go. We set. Hana. Do. Set. Ne. Dasu. Yasu. Yoga. Yadu. Aho. Yo. Let's try it with the breathing. Right, as we're punching, remember not to do a double bounce. Right, that's a double bounce. We want to eliminate that. When we finish, everything is fixed. Okay, let's recap on our walking stance. We are shoulder width wide with our feet. Our front leg points forward. Our knee is bent over our heel. Our body is in the middle. Our shoulders are what we call full facing. Same with our hips, they face forward. Back leg is straight. This is our intermediate position for walking ready stance. We're just going to go forward and back. Try the other side. Hana. Do. Set. Ne. Dasu. Yasu. Yoga. Yaru. Aho. Yo. Right, as part of our routine, we're going to go over these basics in the class so that you get lots of practice, lots of rehearsal at these fundamental movements. Walking stance punch. Practice the other side. Hana, do, se, ne, dasu, yasu, iga, yaru, aho, yo. And in the first few lessons, we also learned the forearm low block. So remember, our blocking arm is on top of the other one, and they're upside down. Let's do this with our walking stance together. Remember to finish your block inside your body. If it does flow outside, don't worry, just bring it back on the inside of your leg, outer forearm. Other side. Sit. Ne. Dasu. Yasu. Yoga. Yadu. Aho. Yo. Alright, by now you should be getting good at counting to 10 in Korean. Hana, up to yo. Let's recap on directional punch. So it has 7 movements on each side, and we start with the right side. Now the left side. Jumbi position, or our ready position. This is called parallel ready stance. Alright, so it's time for some new techniques. We already learnt the knife hand low block, so this is how we make the shape of the knife hand so that we form tension, and this is the part that we use as a block. But this is also the part that we can use as an attack, and it's called the knife hand strike. So just have a little go at feeling that tension and that power that you can generate. Just chop down on the other part, other side. Hana, do, se, ne, tasu. When we did the block, we started with an intermediate position with our hands crossed by our chest. We did this action here, low block. Now, with a similar action, we are going to use it as a strike, and we're going to strike out that way. Knife hand side strike. We're going to come in, we'll do the other side. Right, this is our exercise. Upside down, front of our chest. Do, se, ne. That's it. Yasu, yoga, yadu, aho, yo. Alright. You can see that when I finish, my feet are in a new shape. It's called the L shape. Right, our front leg, the leg that's going forward, points straight ahead. The back leg points 90 degrees. So it's a little bit, it's not exactly 90, 15 degrees off that 90-degree angle. This is called the L stance, Nyanjasogi. Let's add our Nyanjasogi with our knife hand strike. Four more. Hana. Two. Set. Net. Now some of you might be asking, well, should I bring my feet together or just out to the side? Doesn't matter. Sometimes as we go through the grades, it will specify whether you should bring your feet together or to a specific spot. So whatever comes naturally to you is absolutely fine for now. So either feet together, bring your hands in, drop down, or if it's more comfortable to keep your feet apart, you can do that. So it's up to you how you want to transition. If you've mastered this hand technique, we're going to try and generate some power by using our core. You can see that my core is going to go boom, really strong at the same time as I finish my strike. Let's follow along with me. Hana. Two. Sit. Ne. That's it. That's it. Alright, I find a lot of people can't actually relate to the knife hand side strike. So imagine you're just like trying to chop something off its block. Using the same principles, I want to introduce the middle inner forearm block. So this looks like we're doing a similar action, but we're making a block. We're using the inner forearm as our blocking tool. Alright, we already learned the outer forearm, this time inner forearm and palmok. Let's look at it from the side. This is the action. Right, let's practice that action and we're going to do it in an L stance. Follow along with me. Sit. Knit. That's it. Yes, it. Here we go. Yado. Hop. Yo. Alright, now this one is a little bit special in that the intermediate position is from underneath. That means that a blocking arm is on the bottom of the reaction arm, this way. So from here, comes across your body. Alright, let's get a close-up of our intermediate position. If our blocking arm is the left hand, is on the bottom of our intermediate position. If we're using this hand, the right hand, it goes on the bottom. And it's as if both our palms are facing away from us. It's going to twist so that we can generate this twisting action, which is one of the principles of Taekwondo. Right, let's follow along with me. Let's do a few more. Now you'll notice that my fist is finishing shoulder height. That's the definition of middle. Come in, we cross. I said in our earlier tutorial, we want to move through our intermediate position. But as beginners, if you want to take some time to think about this position, you can do so. So we go, is this the right position? Then the block. As we get used to it, we don't want to stop. We want to move through the intermediate position. We only stop at the moment of impact. And okay, and puddle. Okay, right. Let's get ready for our second fundamental exercise. It's called Sajumaki, 4-directional block. The two components of this exercise is the knife hand low block and the middle block. Alright, two of the techniques that we've just been learning. We're going to start with the right side. Now, we're going to step back with the right leg. Low block. We step forward. Middle block. So those are the sequences that we need. Backwards, low block. Forward, middle block. Let's try that double sequence so that we get used to the crossing and we get used to the finishing positions. Let's do 5 more. 3, 4, and 5. Right, we need to link those together and turn 90 degrees, just like we did in 4-directional punch. All right, follow along with me. Backwards, forward. Get ready to turn. Backwards. Turning. And there we have it, the right side done. It's got 8 movements on that side. It's symmetrical, backwards and forward. Let's do that same side again. Follow along with me. And puddle. You'll notice that both techniques are done in walking stance, so nothing new here. We just come forward, walking stance, and when we step back, that's a walking stance. Now, common things to take care when we step back, be careful not to cross over that middle line. We want to keep our legs 1 shoulder width wide. So we can come halfway, step out. That's the most balanced and the most elegant way to perform those stances when moving. Halfway in, turn, going back, coming forward, turn, we come in, and if you find it a bit challenging to coordinate your arms as well as your legs, you can try the leg movements on their own. Just have your hands on your hips. Back, forward, back, turn, stepping back, moving forward, 8. So there are 8 movements all together. Once you're comfortable with how your feet are moving, let's add the arm movements in. We're going to do the left side, including the blocking movements. This is our starting position. Sometimes it's good to just take a moment to lock that in. 4-directional block. That's how we start. And forward. I'm going to go really slowly with my hand position and my feet. Come up, left side. So we move our left leg, but we block with our right arm. So some people can get confused about the left and right, but we need to remember it's to do with your stance and which leg you move. Left side. We'll do the left side again. This time I'll count to 8. Hana. 2. set. Ne. Dasu. Yasu. Eva. Yadu. Alright, so we know Yadu is the Korean counting for 8. Let's do both sides together. We start with the right, and then we come back into this intermediate Jumbi position. We take our breath, and then we move on to the left. Here we go. Right side first. Hana. Bu. Set. Ne. Dasu. Yasu. Yoga. Yado. Come up here. Left side. Hana. Bu. Set. Ne. Dasu. Yasu. Yoga. Yado. And Haro. Alright, you can rewind that and practice that in your own time. 8 movements on each side. We move back with the right leg first. That's our first movement. Take a moment to set it up and just get used to that backward motion. So that's Sajumaki, everyone, 4 directional block. Alright, in today's session, we've got enough time to cover a new kick. It's going to be the turning kick. It's a favorite of everybody's, and let's start with just getting our knee up. So what we want is this knee up, but coming up in a bit of an arc, not straight in front like the front kick. This was our front kick action. Our turning kick comes this way, so that we're turning in to our target. So coming up with that knee, with a little bit of a turn. So we're like turning our body as well. Right, remember our front kick was here, turning kick goes here. Let's get our toes ready. The same as for front kick. Our one of our attacking tools for turning kick is the ball of our foot. There are others, but for today's lesson, we're going to use the same ball of the foot. So that's the part. So practice pulling our toes up. Practice standing on the ball of our feet so that we get this ankle position. So that's a really important position as we grow in our Taekwondo knowledge, that we can make that shape with our foot. And this is the shape we need to be able to make. Alright, so knees up, turning action. Allow the rest of your leg to come out towards the target. Now some of you might be pointing your toes like this, like a ballerina. That's okay. That's okay. We want to get that action. Once you got that action, start to pull your toes back. Get those brain neurons all the way down to that big toe. Get it pulled back. That's the action. You can see that I'm using my arms for a little bit of counterbalance, as well as to help me with my momentum. And that's fine while we're practicing, so that we got the whole body moving into that kick. keep going. Let's do a few more. Just follow along with me. Hana. Do. That's okay if your toes pointing up, that's fine. Set. Once you got that body, whole big muscle group moving, then we worry about that fine tuning. Some of you might be also kicking this way. That's okay, but we're going to try and get it more rounded shape, a more curve. Right. Later on, we may want to do that type of kick, but for this lesson, we want those beautiful curves. There we go. As we get higher, as we warm up, you can practice going a little bit higher, shoulder height. That's already pretty flexible. Some of you will be flexible enough to kick head height that way. If you can, let's go for some high kicks. Let's breathe out. Let's try the other side. You can see that I'm also turning my ground foot so that when I finish my kick, my body is here, my torso is forward and not back. Yeah, so we don't want our torso to lag behind. We want it to lead. We want it to lead the kick. All right, once we get good at that, we can do double kicks. There we go. I'm sure that everyone's capable of that. This is a great exercise for practicing that retraction. So, 1, 2, other side. And back. Let's try, let's have a look at it here. Back. One more on this side. Alright folks, that's our turning kick. I didn't really emphasize the stance, so that's okay. As we're just learning the action, we're just going to allow our leg to forward or come back to a balanced position. The important thing is that it comes back into balance. We don't want to overreach and fall into our kick. Right? So we don't want to do that. We want to bring our leg back so that we can kick again. All right, turning kick. Hope you enjoyed that. There's a lot to master in that kick, so take the time to break it down and practice at home in your own time. All right, let's have a little bit of a cool down, and we'll just start with some leg raising. Sit. Follow along with me. That. That's it. Yes. Yado. Leg change. Ooh. Sit. Nip. That's it. And yes it. Alright, let's go from our start, our lunge stretch. We're gonna reach forward. Breathe. Big breath in. And change to the other side. On the out breath, we reach. In. Into the middle. And out. Breath in. Out. This time, let's practice our balance. We're going to lift that leg up. If you need, just steady. We're just going to do a start. fully stretched out. And change into our star on the other side. Reach. Make yourself as big as you can into your star shape. This leg's going to go back. Long lunge. Hands out. Gonna get that leg out, opening up our hips. Okay. Pushing up. Stretch. Okay. And change legs. We're going to change through the plank position. We'll hold that plank for 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring our other leg up. I'm going to open through here so that we feel the hip opener. Just a little bit of mobility through those hips. Planting that foot. Pushing up so that your opposite shoulder is near the opposite knee. And we're going to reach. Okay, and we're going to transition through plank again. Okay, and this time we're going to walk our hands back and soft neck. We're going to torso twist around all the way down and circle the other way. Bend down knees, reaching up, balance exercise, ball of the foot. Okay, if you need to move a little bit, that's okay. Bring our hands behind, and we're going to clasp our hands this way. Yeah, clasp the fingers. Land the heels, big breath in, and we're going to stretch through the shoulders. We're going to try and get our knuckles up to the ceiling. Hey, we're going to get some shoulder mobility. Okay, bend those knees. Reaching up. Okay, breath in. Okay, alright, so that's our class for today. Hope you enjoyed the workout. Have a little practice at home. Rewind through to some of the parts that you find difficult, and look forward to seeing you at the next class where we'll be learning a new kick and moving on to our first pattern, Chonji. Alright everyone, we turn left, just fix up our dobo, and we're going to bow, our chariot position, arms out to the side. Kunyi, Taekwon, Asan.